As Congress works to pass the new budget, government spending continues to rise, especially at the Defense Department, where the agency has never passed an audit. And joining us now to discuss is Deputy Public Policy Editor of OpenTheBooks.com, Rachel O'Brien. Happy Friday to you. Good morning.
Happy Friday.
The Pentagon budget has grown by 50%, Rachel, over the last 10 years. And during that time, the government did begin these audits, which the DOD has never passed. So what are some of the examples of wasteful spending there?
Right. So President Trump has requested an unprecedented $1 trillion for the DOD. That's a 12% increase for fiscal year 2026. And part of that is because there are costs that sort of make spending rise on autopilot. So Congress often adds these congressional increases to the Pentagon budget. These are de facto earmarks for programs that neither the president nor Pentagon officials thought were important enough to include in their budget. So these congressional increases, they cost almost $23 billion last year. We also have the Pentagon required by law to ask Congress for more money for an unfunded priority list. It's sort of a wish list. And this requests money for items that are not included in the budget. And this became federal law in 2017, but it's been done since the 1990s. Yeah. And these cost billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars a year. So these are silly things that are included in the budget every year.
Some of those silly things, what are some of the wish list examples?
Yeah, so things like almost $7 million for an Air Force dog kennel, $10 million for high altitude balloons, $23 million for mobile kitchen trailers, $107 million for a power plant in Djibouti, money for Space Command, for classified Space Force programs, all sorts of crazy things that really aren't part of the budget, aren't part of requests, and they go on this wish list because they're not really anything that's needed.
You know, these are good examples of wasteful spending, but how much of the Pentagon budget is actually money that could be easily cut without hurting our defense?
Yeah, so this increasing DOD budget, people who are, especially on the right, are always asking for increased defense spending. This spending does not mean that the military is getting stronger or better at equipping its fighters. It just means that there's more bureaucracy to feed, and we see that in the numbers. So in 2000, the DOD spent about $150 billion on active personnel, adjusted for inflation. So since then, that number has grown to only $166 billion in 2024. So it's only slightly increased, meaning the active personnel are not the people that are taking up the budget. Most of the budget is eaten up by operations and maintenance. It was $175 billion in 2000. It's $338 billion now. So you're not talking about personnel, you're talking about this bureaucracy. The GAO had a March report that said there were shortages in trained maintenance personnel that compromised the ability of the Army, Navy, and Air Force to meet their mission-capable goals for many aircraft. So increasing spending isn't the answer. It needs to be used correctly to be worthwhile.
Right. And we know the administration is certainly trying to clean that up too as well. Deputy Public Policy Editor of OpenTheBooks.com, Rachel O'Brien, thanks as always for joining us. Hope you have a great weekend.
Thanks for having me. You too.